Let me
So
answer this question. A lot of people don't believe that it's true that the majority of black men uh, do not have children, are not having sex, and have not fathered a child, their own child, let alone a child out of wedlock.
I
Um,
can answer that last question. It's on blackdemographics.com.
well, you don't even have to go to that. You can go to the CDC, okay? And I'm gonna share something with you really quickly, just because there's so many different sources that you can actually reference to justify this argument. But according to the CDC, and I'm gonna just pull this up. Uh, research. Google is your friend. I research this type of stuff all the time. For example, according to the CDC, all right, and I'm gonna share this with you guys because what I say is a fact. According to the CDC, 55.2% of men, and I looked at percentage of black men without children. 55.2% of men aged 15 through 49 in 2015 through 2019 had not fathered a biological child. That is a fact. That is not my opinion. That is a fact. On average, according to blackdemographics.com, black men were more likely to get married than white men. That is a fact. That is not my opinion. You can go and look up this stuff. The majority of men do not have children out of wedlock, and the majority of men have not even fathered a biological child yet. I do not talk just based off of my opinion. I talk based off of facts. So when I see people use social media talking points, 4 years is a great range to gather again, and that's just the CDC. There's multiple different sites that you can go to and refer to in order to actually find this out. And I talk to men every single day. So y'all don't understand. I also coached thousands of men over a period of at least 3 years. I've coached over 2,000 men. The majority of men do not have children out of wedlock. The majority of men do not have children out of wedlock. Here, I'll read the stat. Somebody said read the stat right under that. I'll read the stat right under that. That's cool. I'll read that too. Fertility rates. In 2019, for example, 3% of black men aged 15 through 19 were fathers, compared to 1% of white, Asian, and Hispanic men of the same age among men 20 through 29, 25% of black men were fathers. That means that more than 75 of black men between the ages of 20 and 29 were not fathers. Were
mm,
not fathers. So when I say that the majority of black men, specific culturally, do not have children out of wedlock, yet the majority of women are single mothers, that should tell you where the issue lie. That is not my opinion. That is a fact. That is according to the CDC.
all right, I am curious about something with that though. Cuz you did say on you said so you think the solution is that once you had these women should go back to the men that they had kids with.
For that particular question, yes. Now, what he decided to do is he used extreme examples in order to try to pander to people's feelings, in which I immediately called him out. I said, listen, you want to use extreme examples of abuse and all of this stuff? Of course, but that is not the majority of the reason why people leave. Most people leave for money or something of the sort, or
No, I agree
feelings.
Feelings.
with you. So, but
So
considering the
when you
stat
solve
you
for
just
something, you first solve for the majority. You don't use extreme talking points to address the majority of the issues. First, the majority of women are having children with a minority of the men. That is a fact. That is 100% a fact. That is not my opinion. And so
no,
I hate
I
when people try to make it out to seem like, oh man, these dudes out here. No, it's not. Most men are not even having sex regularly. It's not true. And most men want to be married. So, I hate when people come up there and pander because then they'll say, oh, okay, well, no, no, it's just a bunch of wrong guys out here. No, that's not true. It's a lie. And if you want to solve for a problem, you got to solve for and that's why I say you can get 99% of men to not do something. And it doesn't matter because you can take a small percentage of women that seek the same guy, that's swiping right on the same guy, and he can fuck them all and get them all pregnant.
But that's my point. So I agree with you. I agree that most of the single moms is not because they were necessarily with an abusive man. And obviously, if you are, like, get yourself out, get safe. But considering the stat, right? That doesn't really leave what you're saying as a true option for many, because for some women they're sharing the guy with another woman, or the guy has moved on and he's married or with somebody else. So the option of, like, let me go back and fix my family might not even be on the table. So what do you say to those people?
Say that again. What's the final question?
What do you say to the women who it's not an option to go back with the father of their child because the father moved on,
What do you mean
or the
that's not an
father is?
option? Every situation is different. That's why I said the context is that nobody is a monolith, right?
No, I
So
know that, but there's a
it's so many different scenarios. It would be hard for me to just answer it in a blanket question though.
why
So
that
because
there.
okay, so like for
So
example,
let's say
one of the
half of the
options is
women.
a woman may be widowed. Another option could be that he remarried and got with somebody else. Another option could be she just don't like that nigga because she feel like she leveled up and she experienced another man. Like it's so many different scenarios that would then warrant a different answer depending on the circumstances.
I hear you, and I'm not talking about individual situations, but let's just say of the women who are single moms. Let's
Hmm.
just say, I don't know this, but let's say half of them
Hmm.
don't have the option to go be with the man because he is
I don't think
unavailable.
that that's inaccurate, but let's play your scenario. Let's
Right,
play your
I agree.
scenario
I'm
out.
just
I don't think it's even remotely
arbitrary
close
number.
to half, but let's play the scenario out.
But let's just play it out. So they're listening to you. All right, you said I should go back and be with the man, the father. I can't. So now what?
Why?
Now what
Give
should
me a scenario. Give me a hypothetical scenario.
the scenario is that he has remarried.
Okay. So you asking me what should the woman do?
Yeah.
If she can get a man that will take on her children, she should. Women are naturally hypergamous. I think that they should do the thing that's best for them. What I speak to is I would because I'm a man. So I say, and I said it yesterday, that I would never tell a man to do something that I would not do myself. That's
Hmm.
disingenuous. And so if a woman can find a man that will do that, God bless her. I wish her the best. And I think that she absolutely should do the thing that's best for her. The one caveat to that is if you fuck up with him too, at what point do you then say, I'm the problem, and we stop blaming men for the problem that you are and you never fixed before you got into another relationship? That's the part of the conversation that we don't have. If you can, because you are naturally hypergamous, God bless you. Do what you got to do, queen. But if you keep on having children out of wedlock, and there's so many women with multiple baby daddies, why don't we hold them accountable and say, who the fuck are you, and why you can't keep a man, and why you keep having children out of wedlock? We don't ever broach that because it is a sensitive subject that don't nobody want to address. But we keep on having them kids though. Do it. Get it. Fix your situation, but fix you first before you invite some other man into your household with your kids. That's what I ask. That's what I advocate for. I wouldn't do it, but if you can get it, get it. But when you gonna fix you too? Because we got to stop blaming men for every single thing that you're doing wrong. That's what I say. That's what I saying though. And if
Yeah, that
it's
was the
and if it's so different, then why don't we update family court laws that was established at a time when women didn't have the option to choose for themselves? And they didn't have the rights that they have today. And they didn't have the opportunities that they have today. Why are women so against updating family court laws? Because they wrong. And that chameleon spirit is still in them. Somebody said, let me see what her name is. Lizby says, that's not how you normally say it. What's not how I normally say it? Because I speak to men. And so I would never advocate for a man to do something that I wouldn't do myself. If you can, do it. Hmm? Because that's not the, because y'all don't, they don't, women don't ask additional questions. They just get offended. Women don't ask additional questions. They just get offended. They just say, "Oh, I don't like him." Listen, if you seen the majority though, I was right yesterday. I was
That
absolutely
chat.
right on everything that I fucking said. Here's the beautiful part about it. You know what I seen and I laughed. It was so hilarious to me. These same women that say that I'm wrong was in there throwing ad hominem attacks at me the whole time. His wife must be under duress. He must be a bottom. These are the same women that will say I deserve a good man, but they were saying some of the most foul, egregious shit. And I didn't say nothing negative to them. As a matter of fact, I had so much ammunition that I could have loaded up, and I removed myself from having that because that had nothing to do with what we was debating. And I showed them respect, and I said, listen, I would never talk about your personal wife or your kids or none of that type of stuff. I ex- I extended grace like a motherfucker yesterday. But
No,
you
yeah, you
seen these
did. You did.
evil, hateful, ugly women that was in that live chat yesterday that couldn't wait to say some evil, ugly shit because that's a reflection of who they are in real life. And these
Well,
same
well,
women will sit there and tell you that they deserve a good man. No, you ugly and you evil in your heart, in your spirit.
I don't think that it's necessarily that they're ugly and evil in their spirit. I think that you're calling a lot of people out. Like, listen, it's hard to list. It's hard to hear some of the stuff that you say because some of the stuff you call out, many of us are past that point of having done it, like the right way or a more optimal way. So nobody wants to admit that they messed up or that they're gonna have to get less than they think they should because of a decision that they made. So I would bet my life that most of the women who were probably making those comments were probably either single moms in a relationship they really don't want to be in, or was the product of a single mom. Like, you were probably hitting home. In other words, you were probably hitting home.
Good. That's what I came
No,
to do.
I
I
agree
wasn't
with
out,
you.
and I said it on the platform. I wasn't there to promote a product. I wasn't there to tell people to join the Patreon. I told them straight up. I said, "Oh, I'm not here to sell nothing. I'm here to work.
Well, and
That's
I
all
think
I'm
that
here
we're
for. I am here to work. I don't need no subscriptions. I don't need nothing. The only thing I want you to do is hear this message and let it burn your soul. And if it don't hit you, if it don't apply, then let it fly." He just so happened to be the person that was standing in front of me. That message was going out no matter what.
yeah.
Whether he showed up or not, that message was going. It was going, and whoever heard it, they were supposed to hear it. Take it for what you will. You can reject it. You can hold on to it. That's on you. That message was going. Whether he showed up or not, I flew to Atlanta to talk to somebody's soul. And that's exactly what I did. Now, y'all can do what the fuck y'all want to with it, but I did what I was supposed to do. I did my job. Because everything that I do before I do it, I ask God, is this what I'm supposed to do? Is this where you want me to go? And is this who you want me to talk to? Sometimes he tell me no, and sometimes he tell me yes. And you can ask Rita. You can ask Rita. Every single thing that I do, I talk to God and I ask him, give me the answer and show me a sign. Give me a witness. Give me a witness. And sometimes he say, nope, that's not for you. And other times he say, go, and by any means you get there. And so I was there to work. I wasn't there to talk and make friends and shake hands and network. Nope, I don't want to do business. Nope, I'm not interested in, I don't need no money. Nope, I don't need your flights. Nope, I don't need your products. Nope, I'm not trying to sell you nothing. I'm here to do work. That's it. Whatever else you got after that, you ain't fighting with me. You fighting with the word that I gave you. That ain't my battle. I'm going home and I'm gonna sleep well at night because I did what I was supposed to do. And I'm gonna be rewarded for it. And that's how I live my life. One moment at a time, one conversation at a time, one purpose at a time. Everybody else, they can let it fall where it may. Don't give a fuck about what nobody's feelings are. That's what I do. And anybody that's
Wow.
standing in my way, they can get that work too. He just so happened to be the person that was on the other end of that punching stick. And that's why I don't have to throw I wasn't gonna throw no ad hominem attacks. It wasn't about him. It was about what he represented. And the questions was given to me so that I can give the context to the people for those that needed to hear it. They can get mad if they want to. They still got to go home at the end of the night. When they cut their computer off, they still dusty, and you still ain't got no daddy for your kid. Nothing
Mm.
changed after you got mad at my message. What you think you deserved and what you have is two different things. Now, if you want to bridge the gap, then come see me. But if you want to keep living in la la land, have at it. God bless you. I will never see you again. I will never see you again. I don't care. I don't see you. I don't even remember you after I walk away. After I shake your hand and I meet you in real life and I walk away, I'm thinking about my next objective. I don't give a fuck at all. I'm there to work. All of that other shit, you can keep it. So that's where I stand on it. Maybe y'all got a different perspective. Why you why you laughing, Carrie?
No, I mean, you did good. Seriously, you did good. You did good.
Well,
Especially in part the what part was it when he turned away and you were like, nah, look at me.
No, look at me in my
Nah,
eyes.
look
I'm
at me.
looking at you.
And
Yeah, that's what I told him in real life.
but
I don't
look
see
at me,
but
cameras.
King.
some
I
of
don't
those
see none of
things,
that. I don't see the TV. I don't see the chat. I don't see nothing. I wasn't looking at nothing. Everything was turned off in front of me. The only thing I wanted to see was you directly. Look at me in my eyes. Don't turn away from me. Look at me and stop blinking so much. Get you
I
some
think that
water. I told him, I said, get you some water. God told me to get you some water. That's honest to God. When we walked in and we met each other, I said, God told me to get you a couple extra bottles of water. That's why when we was in the live stream, I said, I told you was gonna need that water.
Yeah, you did say that.
I said, I told you was gonna need that water. God told me to tell you to get some more water. You gonna need that.
I
Don't deny it.
remember what
Right,
you were
two
talking
water
about with
bottles.
that.
Anton was
Honest to God, I told him to his, I said it. I said, man, you're gonna need more than one bottle of water, bro. You should get you about 3 of them. Hey, go ahead and line them up and get him some water. You're gonna need that. And throughout the first round, he was drinking and drinking and drinking. I said, you're gonna need some extra water, King. Look at me in my eyes. You're not battling with me, you battling with God. This is different. You can't hotbox with me. But whatever.
So one of the things, actually, my husband and I were talking about that. One of the things that we noticed when he did that was that that was like a foundational type of a moment where you can tell that you probably were taught, like, when you're talking to a man, look him in his face, pay attention to, you know what I'm saying,
He was
the etiquette,
nervous. He was
the
nervous.
etiquette. And I
I could
wish I
see it
could
in his
remember
hand when I shook his
exactly.
hand. It was like this.
I wish I could remember what you guys were talking about right at that point, because you had brought up something that I believe probably resonated with him, but it would be really hard to come back around and say, you're hitting something there. So he turned away. Like, that's how I read the body language. So I was glad when you were like, no, turn back around, because really what was happening was a teachable moment for him to pick some gems of wisdom up just by the demeanor of how we have this conversation. So I don't know, you did good. And because I know you from being online, so
Yeah.
what you were saying there is consistent with what you've been saying. Like, you can like you or not, but it is true that your messaging, from what I've seen, has been consistent. And not for nothing, you put yourself in situations where you allow yourself to be challenged. I'm not saying Yada doesn't go on panels or whatever, but from what I've seen, most of the time that he's speaking before people, it's either, monologue style, or it's among people who are probably more agreeable to him than not. So he's
No, it's
probably not
amongst people that ain't rich and don't have the results. See, it's different when you facing
true.
somebody that's actually that got everything that you profess to be. Been married longer, more successfully married, and I'm rich too. And I don't need to count pockets, but see, the argument is gonna be different. The conversation is gonna be different because you're not talking to a Dusty. You talking to a him. And see, we could see the real. We could spot that. I could see your demeanor. I could see the way your eyes move. I could see it when you shake my hand. I could see the confidence that you have when I walked up. I could spot everything about you. I could tell you exactly how it's gonna go before we sit down. I could see it. See, it's different when you're talking to a man. When you're talking to a man's man, it's a whole nother conversation than if you're talking to somebody that needs you or somebody that look up to you. I don't look up to you. I look up to God. That's it. I don't fear no man. No man. God has given me
But
everything that I need. That's equipped me to be prepared for what it is that I got to do. So I mean, God bless him. Here, meet my wife. This is Rita. Rita said hi. Then she whispered in my ear, "He not ready. Don't be so hard on a man, time. Give him grace." Said, "I got you, Queen." Let me keep it going. Y'all got any other thoughts about this before we move on?
yeah,
Uh,
I just want to say one thing
Wait,
because
wait,
I
wait.
saw.
But then she said, give him grace. Don't be so hard on him. I said, you pray for him. That's what I said. You pray for him.
I just think if he takes a few steps back, like in his videos now, he has a podium set up. Like, I just think if he takes a few steps back,
What? What you mean a podium like a pulpit?
like a pulpit podium, yes.
Oh God! Come on,
No.
man.
He had his king's chair for a while, but now he has a podium. And I just think if he would go back to just share your journey. There's so much power. Everybody, you don't have to be a teacher by directing. Like, sometimes just share your journey, share your story, and people can take what they need from that. That's all. And I think he needs to stay in that space right
God bless him. God bless him. Any other? What was you about to say, Slimmy? I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, I just caught somebody's comments during the debate last night, and I caught some of the comments that they say in the day, and I catch some of the comments that they say all the time, and they are just so negative. And the 1K, I just want to tell you, shut your bitch ass up, man. You always motherfucking hating and being weird.